Ben was born into a poor family in central Vietnam, where the harsh sun and winds shaped the land and its people. His parents were farmers who worked tirelessly just to put food on the table. From a young age, Ben was accustomed to hard labor, helping his parents with farm work and raising chickens to earn extra income. Those early years instilled in him the value of perseverance and hard work. At 18, Ben left his hometown for Saigon to pursue a university education. However, city life was far from easy. To support himself, he took on various jobs, from waiting tables and washing dishes to delivering goods. Among all these jobs, working at a chicken hot pot restaurant left the biggest impression on him. He realized that a great dish was not just about ingredients. It was also about service and creating an inviting atmosphere for customers. After graduating, Ben took a job as a sales representative for a food company. But the office life failed to ignite his passion. He soon realized that his true calling was in the culinary world, particularly in traditional hot pot dishes. The idea of creating a brand that combined the unique flavors of Vietnam's 3 regions began to take root in his mind. However, with no capital and no experience running a restaurant, was his dream even possible? During a visit home, Ben and his friends enjoyed a dish called Lao Ga Lae, a central Vietnamese specialty. The refreshing, fragrant broth reminded him of other famous chicken hot pot variations, such as Lao Ga O Ti Hiem from the south and Lao Ga Thuoc Bac from the north. This sparked a bold idea. Why not create a restaurant that combined the essence of all 3 regions? Determined to turn his vision into reality, Ben spent months traveling across Vietnam, visiting renowned hot pot restaurants, studying cooking techniques, sourcing quality ingredients, and observing customer service methods. He also attended courses on restaurant management, kitchen operations, and modern culinary trends. But when he returned to Saigon, he faced a huge challenge. Where would he find the money to start a restaurant? With no savings and no restaurant space, he felt stuck. After much thought, Ben decided to borrow money from friends and family. He also sold his motorbike, his most valuable possession, to gather enough funds for his first venture. Ben rented a tiny space in a small alley in Ben Thanh District, Saigon. The restaurant was simple, with just a few second-hand tables and a single stove. With a tight budget, he had to do everything himself, from shopping for ingredients and cooking to serving customers. In the beginning, business was tough. Some days, there were barely any customers, and sales weren't even enough to buy fresh ingredients. Many people doubted that a small eatery in an alley could ever compete with the bigger restaurants in the city. But Ben refused to give up. He listened to customer feedback, continuously refined his recipes, and improved his service. Slowly, word spread about the unique flavors of his hot pot, and more customers started visiting. He also leveraged social media, posting mouth-watering pictures of his dishes on Facebook and TikTok to attract more diners. After 6 months, the restaurant began to see steady traffic, especially on weekends. Ben realized that if he wanted to grow further, he needed a well-planned strategy. After 2 years of steady business, Ben decided to open a second location in a busier neighborhood. However, things did not go as smoothly as he had hoped. Managing multiple locations was more challenging than he anticipated. The quality of food and service was inconsistent, leading to customer complaints. His new staff lacked experience, and revenue at the second location did not meet expectations, putting immense financial pressure on him. Ben soon realized that he couldn't run everything on his own. He needed proper systems and processes to scale the business. He started focusing on structured employee training, setting up standard operating procedures, and ensuring consistent food quality. These improvements helped stabilize the second location, laying the groundwork for future expansion. When he opened his third branch, Ben realized that the biggest challenge in the restaurant industry was not just the food, it was managing people. High employee turnover and inconsistent service between branches made operations difficult. To address this, Ben prioritized staff training and established clear operational guidelines. Every new hire had to undergo a training program before officially starting work. He also introduced technology-based management, using software to track sales, inventory, and employee performance. By continuously refining his business model, he created a well-organized system that allowed Lao Ga 3 Min to grow steadily. But Ben had bigger ambitions. He wanted to expand beyond Saigon and take his brand nationwide. To make Lao Ga 3 Min stand out, Ben invested in professional branding, designing a logo, creating a unified store aesthetic, and developing a strong brand identity. He also intensified marketing efforts, collaborating with food bloggers, hosting food events, and leveraging social media for promotions. But beyond marketing, he focused on customer experience. Ben actively gathered feedback, refined his recipes, and introduced seasonal hot pot variations to keep customers engaged. Thanks to these efforts, the restaurant chain gained widespread popularity. Revenue skyrocketed, giving Ben the resources to expand further. But would the road ahead remain smooth? What new challenges awaited him? After establishing success in Saigon, Ben set his sights on Hanoi, a promising but challenging market. Northern Vietnamese cuisine favored milder, subtler flavors compared to the bold, spicy dishes of the South and Central regions. To win over Hanoi customers, Ben had to adjust his recipes. However, the challenges went beyond just taste preferences. Finding a prime location at a reasonable price was difficult, and hiring and training staff in Hanoi, where service culture differed, added another layer of complexity. During the first few months, the Hanoi branch struggled with low foot traffic and inconsistent service. Instead of giving up, Ben personally oversaw operations, trained staff, and continuously fine-tuned the menu. Gradually, thanks to these persistent efforts, the restaurant gained popularity. The newly adapted chicken hot pot recipes won over local customers, stabilizing the Hanoi branch and setting the stage for further expansion across Vietnam. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic hit, plunging the food and beverage industry into crisis. Many restaurants shut down or operated at minimal capacity due to lockdown restrictions. Lao Ga 3 Min was no exception. Revenues plummeted while operational costs remained high. Faced with uncertainty, Ben quickly pivoted. Instead of waiting for the pandemic to end, he expanded his delivery services. He developed pre-packaged hot pot meal kits, allowing customers to enjoy his signature dishes at home. He also partnered with food delivery apps to reach a broader audience. This strategy not only helped sustain his business during the pandemic, but also created a new revenue stream. Even after restrictions were lifted, the hot pot delivery service remained a core part of his business. Ben realized that adaptability was the key to long-term success. After overcoming the crisis, Ben continued expanding the 3 regions chicken hot pot chain to various provinces and cities, including Da Nang, Nha Trang, and Haiphong. For each region, he carefully studied the local taste preferences and adjusted his recipes to suit them best. However, rapid expansion also brought significant challenges. Ben faced the complex task of managing a large system remotely, ensuring consistent food quality and service standards across all branches. To tackle these issues, he implemented strict operational procedures, integrated technology for management, and built a team of professional regional managers. He also invested heavily in brand identity, from staff uniforms and restaurant designs to strategic marketing campaigns. Ben collaborated with food influencers, KOLs, and launched attractive promotional programs to attract new customers. Thanks to these well-planned strategies, Three Regions Chicken Hot Pot quickly became Vietnam's largest chicken hot pot chain, with dozens of branches nationwide. But Ben didn't stop there. His next goal was to take the brand international. With domestic success secured, Ben set his sights on international expansion. He recognized that Vietnamese communities in the US, Australia, and Japan had a strong demand for traditional home-style dishes. However, taking a brand overseas was far from easy. High rental costs, complex legal regulations, and differences in dining habits were major obstacles. To minimize risks, Ben chose the franchising model, partnering with local investors to open his first branches in the US and Japan. The journey of international expansion was filled with challenges, from sourcing high-quality ingredients and training local staff to adapting to each country's business culture. But with his determination and clear strategy, Ben steadily grew Three Regions Chicken Hot Pot into a global Vietnamese culinary brand, bringing Vietnamese flavors to the world with pride. As his brand grew, competition intensified. Many new hot pot chains emerged, replicating his model, while foreign brands entered the Vietnamese market. Ben understood that stagnation meant failure. To stay ahead, he heavily invested in R&D, research and development, constantly innovating with new hot pot flavors and recipe improvements to deliver unique dining experiences. Additionally, he enhanced customer experience by upgrading restaurant designs and implementing online reservation and payment systems. Ben stayed ahead of industry trends, ensuring that Three Regions Chicken Hot Pot remained the leading brand in the market. After more than 20 years, Ben transformed Three Regions Chicken Hot Pot from a small eatery into a globally recognized restaurant chain. More than just a successful businessman, he became an inspiration for young entrepreneurs in the F&B industry. For Ben, success wasn't just about expanding locations or increasing revenue. It was about building a sustainable brand. He prioritized human capital development, training a new generation of managers to ensure the company could thrive even without his direct leadership. At 50 years old, Ben looked back on his journey with pride. From a penniless young man, he built a culinary empire, bringing Vietnamese hot pot flavors to millions of diners worldwide. And his journey was far from over. Thank you for listening patiently up to this point, and I would like to congratulate you on your listening, comprehension, and vocabulary skills improving every day. Along with that, your ability to concentrate has been and will gradually take shape. All the necessary abilities to succeed, whether in study or work, are thoroughly explored in each video I post. I wish you happy studying, and see you in the next videos.